You are the lifter of my head. You are the voice I hear when I am sad.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Carlos Harlow, and thank you for tuning in to Poetic Expressions. Today, I have the privilege of interviewing songwriter, producer, author, blogger, all of that, John Patrick Adams. So, John, thank you so much for agreeing to do the interview.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And then if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and just so people can get to know you, for those who are watching, just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, hey, I'm John Patrick Adams. I'm a songwriter, I'm an author, life coach. And I mean, I blog every day, so I love to blog. I love to inspire people. I believe that's one of my passions, and one of my purposes here on earth is to help others see the potential in themselves, because someone helped me see the potential in myself. I haven't always been there, but someone a lot helped me, to see the greatness in who I am, and also see the potential and the limitless possibilities. So, hey, I'm just trying to play it forward.
Awesome. All right. We'll get straight into it. So, talking about John's new song, it's called My Everything. So, John, if you could tell us something about this song. Now, I will say before he gets into the explanation, the song is amazing. I have had a chance to hear it, and you all are going to love it. So, you could tell us a little bit about My Everything.
Okay, cool. My Everything is a new song that I'm releasing on July 18th, which is my birthday.
Hey,
so I'll be releasing
right.
it.
Birthday present. That's a plug right there. Remember that.
Yeah, I'll be releasing it July 18th, and it's a song. It's a personal song. It talks about the attributes of God and who He is to you, or who He is to me, and whomever sings it, or listen to it. I hope that the words minister to them, and it speaks to their relationship with God, and it speaks to their love and appreciation with God. So that's what the song is really about. It's just a quick, easy tune. It's not long, and it's not overly produced. That was one thing that the goal is. We wanted to keep this song to make it like if you were at an open mic, and there was someone up there singing with three background singers snapping their fingers, and a keyboard player. And that's it. That's the direction of the song, and I love the song. Amazing vocalist, Otis Washington. I have to give him a shout out.
Oh, yes. He's awesome on the song.
Amazing vocalist, and I'm glad to have connected with him. So I think you guys are going to really love the song.
Awesome. Okay. So with your songwriting, and you have so much experience in that arena and in the gospel arena, what would you say is your process for writing a song? Or do you have one, or does it differ from song to song?
Yeah, I don't think I have a process, to be honest with you. I allow it to happen organically.
Okay.
The process with me is I may get the music. I may be inspired with a melody first, or I may be inspired with some words. I go to a church, you hear a preacher preach, and he'll say something, and it'll be like, wow, that's pretty cool. And my process is always, if it sticks with me, then that's where I need to go with it. I don't go home and start trying to write from it, because I want whatever is given to me to come from God. I don't want to start writing in self. I want to allow God to pour into me to pour into other people. So that's my process. I just let it flow. So it could take a week, it could take a month, it could take a year to finish some songs. So, yeah.
All right. And what would you say are your thoughts on the current state of gospel music right now? And do you think that maybe it borrows a little bit too much from the secular world, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we borrow from the secular world, but when you look at the history of gospel music, that has always been the trend. Or with R&B, I think we kind of borrow from each other, because secular music and gospel music, they're all about feelings and emotions. So we kind of like play off of each other. And when you look at most R&B musicians or artists, they started out in the church, in their church choir, playing for a church. So they take a little bit of that into the world, and sometimes we bring a little bit of that into the church. And so the state of gospel music now is, I think, do I believe that we borrow a little bit too much? Yeah, I believe that we borrow. But when you are in the industry, there are demands. there are demands that you have to meet. And if you're not a Kirk Franklin or not a Donna Lawrence and you want to get paid and you want that stardom, you have to go in and give them what they're asking you for. And most young artists or new artists, let me say new artists, they just look at, I may never ever get this opportunity again. So is it that they sell out? Maybe, but I think also a lot of times they feel the pressure or feel as though if I turn away from this, you know, this opportunity may never ever come to me again. And in most cases, you know, people be like, well, pray about it. Sometimes you don't have enough time to go back and wait for God to speak to you. Sometimes you just go with it
right.
and pray that once you jump off this cliff, God's hand is going to be there to catch you.
Right.
So, hey.
Okay. No, that's true. And you mentioned something really key about people, you know, you want to get paid. I mean, I think it's fair to say that when you release music or when you write music, you know, you do, of course, that's not, I don't think that's your ultimate goal, but of course you do want to see some return on your investment. So with that said, do you think that the digital space now in music, where you have Tidal and Spotify, where these people are playing or paying, excuse me, a certain amount a month, and then they have access to all of this music, so they're not really buying your music, but they're streaming it, you know, they're listening to it, so that counts too. But, you know, at the end of the day, as far as actual sales go or money back in your pocket, you know, you may not see it from that way. So do you think it's a good thing with so much heavy digital focus in music now, or do we maybe need to go back to
I think it goes both ways, because with the digital platform, it gives new artists an opportunity who don't have a record label behind them to push their CDs in markets that they can reach. It gives them that opportunity for more people to listen to their music. Now on the other end of it, it hurt because people don't understand. Like when you sell a single on Amazon or iTunes, you don't get all of that money. And then you don't get all of it, even the money that you do get, you don't get it right away. It takes time. They have to add it up. They're not going to send you a check for 50 cents just because you sold one single. No, they're going to wait until that money builds up before they give you a check. But some artists, they're not even making back the money that they put into their CDs, because everybody's listening to music on YouTube now. Everybody's listening to music on Tidal and Spotify and Pandora. So that does kind of like slow down the process of people getting paid. So I think, again, in regards to getting paid, it may impact artists a little bit.
Okay.
But in regards to giving them exposure that maybe they wouldn't have without the digital world, I think it's great. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well said. Okay, and what would you say is, if you had to pick one, what is your most memorable songwriting experience?
Okay. Most memorable songwriting experience for me is my first song ever be recorded. Why Did He Do It? And I mean, I've been tremendously blessed because of the song, and it's always good, and especially around Easter time. People send you, or they'll tag you in, or tag me in on Facebook where a choir has sung my music or someone has danced to it. So it's a great experience from that. But the most memorable thing to me about that is that, when I wrote the song, I was like 20 years old. I was sitting at my mom's house just making words rhyme. Didn't think anything of it. Of course I loved God, but at that time I was just getting started in writing music. And so I wrote the song. Then fast forward a couple of years down, I presented the song at Texas Mass. That's where I kind of like got my start. Texas Mass is all the Texas chapter of Gospel Music Workshop. I presented the song there and met with Chester D. Baldwin and Ronald Mater, and they was like, "Oh man, that's just a great song. You got to submit it to the National GMWA." And the funny thing about it is, and I tell people all this time, if the first time your song or something doesn't get accepted, don't take that as a closed door. Sometimes you have to revisit the door, maybe even turn the knob and open the door yourself, because I had already presented Why Did He Do It before, and it didn't get accepted. So I presented, I think maybe a year or two later. It got accepted in the new music division because they have it broken out. And I went in, and the new music division there is just a class filled with musicians. And I went in, I presented the song, and when I presented the song, after I presented the song, the lady Rodina Preston at the time, she was over the music division there, and she walked up to me, and she said, "Hey, do you have more copies of the song?" Meaning she music. "Do you have more copies of the song?" And I said, "Well, I can get more." And she said, "Well, because we want to move your song into the women's division." And that's how my song got
Wow.
recorded. It wasn't originally when I went to Minneapolis, that's where it was recorded. When I went there, I didn't even know that the song was going to get recorded. It was just that, God perfectly orchestrated for me to present in that class, for that lady to come in that class, hear my song, because it was a lot of other songs presented. But she
Right.
heard my song, moved me over there, and then from that opened up doors for me as a songwriter, just with that one encounter. And that's why I always tell people, you know, you never know who's watching you, who you're meeting, who can open up the next door for you. So when you go into places and you go to do things that, especially the things that you say you're passionate about, when you go there, you always go to do the best job you can, because that may be your shining moment right there.
True.
So, that's the most memorable moment, because it just reminds me again how God just strategically does things, and he orchestrates everything for a greater purpose if you're just
Right.
open to following his plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, you definitely have a busy summer coming up with the release of My Everything, July 18th. Again, birthday present. Download the single. So, but I also want to also give you a chance to tell us any other new projects that you may be working on this year, next year, anything you have coming up.
Okay, cool. Well, the goal is this time next year, I plan to have a digital EP out.
Oh,
And
nice.
the whole thing behind it is John Patrick Adams and Friend. I am blessed with some of the most phenomenal and gifted vocalists that do not have projects. They're singing in their churches on Sundays, they singing backup behind everybody else, but they don't have projects.
Right.
So the whole goal with this is, I'm gonna write music, give my friends that I know can, um, relay and portray or paint the story of the words that are given to me to the world. So I'm gonna get with them, let them sing it. They have free reign to do whatever vocally they want to do with the song. And by this time next year, it'll be a full CD, and you'll be hearing a lot of people
Nice.
that maybe you have never heard of, but this is their opportunity for the world to hear them. More people than just their church and their family and their friends.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We will be looking forward to it. So, y'all have a task coming up this summer. Birthday gift number 1, July 18th, 2017. Then birthday gift number 2, July 18th, 2018, when the EP comes out. So keep those dates in mind. And also another important date, do want to slide in here. July 7th is the official release for my new novel. It's a follow up to my first novel.
I already got my copy.
Yes, he does. He does. Thank you. Thank you for the support. So yeah, it's a follow up to my first novel, and go check it out. Yeah, it's at my site now. You can order it even before the release date, and you can get a signed copy at www.poeticexpressions.com. All right, and one last question for you, John, and this is a very important question. Where can people find your music? How can people get your books? How can people follow you on social media?
I am on everything: Instagram, LinkedIn,
Okay.
Facebook. It's all my name, John Patrick Adams, so you can find me there. In my books, you can get that on my site, johnpatrickadams.com. But the music, the song, and actually you can go listen to other songs I've written. They're all on my site on the media page. But my everything, you'll be able to get it everywhere. It's going to be on Tidal, Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, Google, Amazon,
Nice.
everywhere. You'll be
Okay.
able to find it. So yeah, it'll be everywhere July 18th.
Okay, so no excuses. For those of you who say, "Oh, I'm loyal to Tidal, I'm loyal to Spotify," it's almost like iPhone versus Android. You know, they hate each other for some reason. I don't know why. But so there's no excuses. Whichever one you have Tidal, stream it. If you got Spotify, stream it. So July 18th, my everything. Thanks again, John, for joining me today on the show.
Thank you.
And peace.
Peace.
You are the lifter of my head. You are the voice I hear when I am sad. You are the strength I feel when I